All right, welcome back, everybody, to the RGN Intercontinental Open. This is another one of our lower bracket best-of-one matches between Team Hyper and Noble Esports. They're going to be facing off on season. Getting into the knife round right now, I am Bach, and with me again is Ricky Rath. Ricky, how's it going, bud?
At the start of this, I know it's a knife round, but Toops had a really sneaky DQ play going through vents. A little dramatic for a knife round, but a lighthearted start, to say the least, as Team Hyper is going to have their choice of the side here.
Now, what's interesting is that's actually, I think it was Team Noble that came out the victors there.
What? I can't do math, dude. You know that.
I mean, because this is season, the knife round probably not as important as it is on, say, a map like Nuke or, Cobblestone, Overpass, where the sides are so uneven. Season is a very even-out map. We just saw the last match, 8-7 at half, after Shock finally came back and won it, but it's a very even-up map, and, it doesn't really necessarily matter if you start on the CP side or the T side. Obviously, it comes down to what you feel more comfortable with. Now, Hyper, formerly of ESEA Invite. Now, not all of their players were ESEA Invite, but some of the players on the roster, I think Deimos, Shifty, and Sav, all have Invite experience with the old HyperX team from CS Source. Precision, meanwhile, has Invite experience in Go and Source, so he's a fill-in for the team right now. He might be a big player. He's an AWPer from what I recollect. On the other side of the board, a lot of young players new to the game. Nifty, a big player from COD, used to play for Elevate, if I'm not mistaken. He had some insane 1Ds in their best-of-3 upper bracket match that they ended up losing. So, I mean, they have some good aim, and they have a lot of promise. They might be able to take this match. I mean, it all comes down to who knows the map more. My assumption is that the guys with Invite experience in Source are going to know Season a little bit better, because Season was a huge map in Source. So I kind of give the nod right now to Hyper, but I was wrong earlier tonight when I gave the nod over Ignite for Phoenix, so maybe we'll see an upset victory here for Noble Esports. Either way, pistol round is about to get underway between Noble Esports and Team Hyper.
Go walk your dog, J-Rock. Go walk your dog, producer J-Rock. Okay, buds.
All right, pistol round underway right now, and look at this play from Hyper, already doing something a little bit interesting. You see two men heading over to B with a bomb, the rest of the team heading over towards A. There's two men down subway already, one man holding off middle, and Sav catching quite a bit of nade damage there on the stairs, down to 39 already, but it doesn't matter. He pushes into the site, gets the first frag on Angel. Mystery's going to trade him out. Tubes is going to make his presence known, but he's going to fall back. There's a three-man hold over on the B bomb site. That's the four-man, the five-man, and the one-man, Nifty, Mystery, and Uncut. And look at that big frag. Shifty takes down Zooks. They're just spreading out all over the map here. They're leaving Noble Esports with really no idea what's happening. Nifty is going to get one, Uncut gets another, and that's going to balance the tides in favor of Hyper, or in favor of Noble for that matter. But again, a bit of a strange play here from Team Hyper. Toops in the bomb site at B by himself. He's going to go for that plant, and he has more than enough time. So he's going to just play the clock right now. 45 seconds left on the round. He tapped the bomb plant, maybe to try and pull these players over, and then he might walk rotate to A. If he can make this happen, that would be insane. He gets the first frag on Mystery, and now it's a 1v1 over on B. Uncut coming up with the frag. The Tech 9 devastates his head. So Noble Esports picking up the pistol round on Season, but if this goes like the last map, we might see Team Hyper here pick up the anti-eco, as that happened in both halves on the last match.
Well, I'm excited to see if that does happen. Hyper, like you said, they've got some talent, man. So you got to watch out for that, especially on a map like Season, where you can have such quick takes with the terrorists, just forcing their way in there before you can get your rotators to rotate. So it's definitely doable. But instead of working like a five-man push here, it looks like they're spreading out. They're maybe going to try and collect some weapons here before they decide to hit a site.
Now, something that I watched with Hyper in the last one, you can tell their Source players, they've got two Deagles on an eco round. Back in Source, the Deagle was just a joke. I mean, the gun was insanely accurate. Yeah, I mean, it was a huge part of the game. In Go, the Deagle is kind of laughed at because unless you hit the first shot, you're pretty much left high and dry. But Deimos hit some insane shots with his Deagle, so we'll see if he can do that in this match. But what happened with Hyper was it just broke their money. They constantly were buying Deagles, and they were breaking their money in those anti-eco or in the eco round. So Right now, Angel gets the first frag, but Deimos responds with his deagle, thanks to some help from Shifty. Uncut's gonna take him down and drop the bomb. Nifty taking down Precision. So the bomb down in the A site, a bit of an unlucky fall there, and looks like we're gonna be seeing a pause here. Not sure what the cause of that is. Shifty goes down, and now it's on Toops, and my guess is Toops is lagged out here. And nope, he's not. So I don't know what the pause is about,
but pause, man.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on. Maybe it's a mental game. Maybe they're gonna let them think that Toops is lagging out. Maybe it's a trick. So as Admiral Akbar would say, it's a trap. He's got 100 HP and a P250 smoke grenade in hand. Nifty at 7. He might be able to clean up that kill. Uncut down to 64. He's just looking to do some damage to the money right now, and Angel pushing up on Cat. He's going to spot him out. Goes for the kill. He does get him. Going to pick up that MP7. See what he can do with it here. Gets peeked by Uncut. Uncut takes him down. That's 2 for him. 2 for Angel. Nifty getting the other one on the round. But we are going to be seeing that pause, and I'm still not sure of the reason. But maybe chat will enlighten us a little bit here.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, but Hyper didn't have that round we wanted. They kind of slumped a bit there, and I can't always say on a map like Season when you're gifted such an... Like, if you can take 1 or 2 in the site, like I mentioned before, the rotates take a while. So if you're going to pick a map to hit 5 men on an anti-eco, Season is the best one for that. And Hyper, unfortunately, just tried to play that spread-out game. They got a couple kills. I think they got 2 kills that round, so it wasn't the worst. But, you know, it looks like they're just happy with their deagles, too. Like you said before, Source players, man, the deagle, the hand cannon. The deagle was so sick in Source, like, you could buy on a gun round just a deagle, and, you know, your teammates would be like, oh, you're just pistoling? Like, it was a legitimate weapon, and I'm glad to see it a little nerfed here. None of the pistols have such a big of an impact like they did in Source as they do in Global Offensive.
Yeah, you know, the deagle in Source, I mean, I remember playing just pure deagle games and just how insane it used to be. And even in Go for a little while, they had buffed the deagle to a point where it was actually that good. And then right around, I think, Operation Phoenix is when the deagle went downhill. And oh my god, a double nade kill to start round number 3 here. Uncut, finishing off Precision and Sav. So Toops, Deimos, and Shifty left alone here. A 5v3. Not a single shot has been fired yet. They are on the eco right now. Deimos does have that deagle yet again. Toops with the P250, Shifty as well on the P250. Another nade does 12 damage to Shifty, so not as much as he could have done. Zook's holding a close position here on Horseshoe. Uncut takes down Toops. It's a wallbang shot from his FAMAS. And this round looks like it's going to go the way of Noble Esports right now, unless this man on upper gets spotted out. And Deimos, there's that deagle we were talking about. He's been very good with it in the past. We'll see if... I would love to see Nifty and him go at it, because Nifty has had some insane deagle shots himself. He peeks out a man on J-Hall, can't take him down. Uncut, polishing off the man upper. That's Shifty off the board, so now it's a 1v4. Gets one more with that deagle. Good damage being done right now from Deimos. Wallbang shots firing in from Catwalk. Not going to hit him. Angel takes him down, though, so another eco round down for Team Hyper. They're going to be going into that bye round. They did okay on their eco rounds. Not as amazing as they could have, but 3-0 right now. Noble Esports over Team Hyper coming into this first full bye.
They only lost 2 was mitigated losses on that round, so it was perfect. Uncut can afford the AWP. He's at 8-0-1 right now, so he's having an excellent first set of rounds here going into the 4th, and starting off right away. Oh, Deimos with the AWP kill. Nifty will be sitting on the bench for the rest of the round, and perhaps I think we're going to see another pause at the end of round number 4 here. Zooks, Angel, Mystery, and Uncut all remain for the CTs. 5 men still up for Team Hyper as they slowly shift that bomb towards bomb site A. Deimos is at the base of Subway right now towards T-Spawn. Not quite sure where he's going to go and take that bomb on his back. Zooks, the defender at A for the CTs. Uncut is on a quick rotation from mid. Mystery on right side mid. So Noble Esports right now really beefing up mid here in their efforts. And Uncut's going to rotate through J-Hall. He's going to catch Shifty as he tries to split the D in sight there on the X. And Angel gets another from B. That was Sav who was lurking. So that's also a big pickup. And it looks like Noble Esports is going to take this one as well. I mean, Deimos and Precision should be thinking about saving at this point.
Yeah, he's got it all up in the hands of Deimos. They lost a player to some connection problems. Toops goes down early, so that's a shame. I mean, you hate to see that happen. It looked like it could potentially be a close round after Deimos opened things up with that first pick. Instead, they brought it down to a 5v or 4v4. I mean, obviously it was evened up, but still, it's the kind of thing you hate to play. Toops had problems in the first round. That was the reason for the pause. I think it came into round number 2 that we saw a pause early on. So right now, Precision and Deimos swapping guns here. Precision has a lot more health. He's going to be holding that AWP. And like I said, Precision was an AWPer, if I'm not mistaken, when he played in Source. And I think even when he played in Go, when he played Invite. So probably not the worst person in the world to have that rifle in hand. But again, we're going to be waiting right now as Toops has been having some connection problems. Not really sure what the cause is. Obviously, we want those to end as quickly as possible. And he's back in the server, so hopefully we will be able to unpause as he has reconnected. It pings a little bit high, but it looks like he's good to go, and he's got his money, so that's a big one.
Round number 4. It's going to be hard for Toops to come back on a reconnect like that, but like you said, he does have his money, so he could buy up here. His teammates a little strapped for cash. 0, 0, and 3 is Precision, and you're gonna need for your bottom end fraggers to step up, especially on a map like D season when you're on T side. You gotta have a strong opening, and so far Precision hasn't been that. Toops has 2 kills despite his connection issues, and Demo's at 4 and 3.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the cause of the issues are. Uncut getting the AWP frag early in the round on Deimos, but the AWP in the hands of Precision, and we'll see. Is Toops still having some connection problems in this round? Hopefully not. Looks like he's okay as they push around on upper right now. There's a man there. He falls back. I believe that was Angel. So Hyper already down a player early in round number 5. Noble Esports looking pretty good, starting off 4-0, but this is exactly what we saw in the last map, and we saw an impressive comeback, so we'll see what can happen here as round 5 is already underway. 1 minute and 5 seconds left on the clock. Toops tosses a smoke onto Bomb Box. And he peeks a man out over on pillars. That's Mystery. There's a man underneath too. That's Angel. And Mystery and Angel have a great crossfire going down, taking Toops and Sav. Shifty and Precision, the last 2 left alive for Team Hyper right now. 5 on the board for Team Noble. Nifty and Zooks the only ones without kills. Nifty gets 1, so if Zooks can find one, that would make it a team ace, something I haven't seen in quite a bit of time at this point. Mystery is going to take him down, though, so a solid round there from Noble Esports, holding off that buy round from Team Hyper. And, I mean, it was a buy. It was kind of like a force-up mixed buy, as they did keep that AWP and an AK. But Team Hyper not really looking so hot right now, and obviously the connection problems are causing some grief to them. You know, they have a player who keeps getting disconnected, keeps having timeout problems, so that's definitely going to cause issues. And Toops again. Oh, good. Thank God. I saw Toops sitting in T-spawn. I got a little bit worried there.
3 deagles, though, for Team Hyper. Tried and true, buddy. I mean, I love seeing the deagle in this game. I can't talk enough about it, and it's going to be a deagle rush B, as classical sources you can get. And I hate to keep bringing that up, but at this point, that's really what it feels like right now. As Toops is going to get the opening frag in sight, Precision's going to chime in with the Tech 9. He'll get another one, so he is on the board at 2 and 4 now, finally. We're getting some depth reduction there from the T side, and an easy sight take there from the Eco, and before Zooks and Uncut even decide to rotate, they're already off saving, as that they didn't lose anyone taking that sight, and they got 3 weapons, so that was a massive round for Hyper, and perhaps we'll see more convincing rounds like that, because Bach, truly, that was a statement the way they took that bomb site.
Yeah, I mean, the deagle take there, that was that I like. It's funny. I love the deagle because I've played Source. I played 1.5 and 1.6. I even played back even further than that, but I honestly can't remember because I was young. And back in those days, the deagle was such a viable pistol, and now the deagle isn't really as viable. But all the old players still pick it up, and you'll see like guys on Cloud9 pick it up. Like I've seen Semphis and when Hiko used to play for them, he used it a lot. Even Shroud will pick it up from time to time, even though he's not necessarily an old player. But it's not surprising that Hyper is picking these deagles in these eco rounds. The problem is that it can break your money so bad because it's such an expensive pistol. And unfortunately, it looks like Toops is lagging out again, and he has the bomb, so Deimos has to TK him just so he can get it. They're going to lose Sav as well to Mystery's AWP, so that makes it a 5v3. Another unfortunate start to another round here. This is not going so hot for Team Hyper. Noble Esports, I mean, they're playing really well, but it definitely helps that they've been facing off against a weak T side because of the fact that they've been down a player, I think now 3 rounds. So this is brutal for them.
After such a great round 2, that's so disappointing to see.
Yeah, it really is a shame, and you know, obviously there's a 4-letter word that I don't like to repeat on stream that's being repeated out loud. I don't know if that's necessarily true. We just know that there's connection problems, and it really breaks the game. I mean, it could be such a close game, and instead, Hyper, you know, is gifting Noble rounds because of the fact that they have to play shorthanded, and it's unfortunate. Like, even right now, it's a 3v3 to have that extra player in Toops. That would be huge because they'd be able to do so much more. I mean, now it's a little bit harder of a hold. They're still managing to do decent work here as Precision gets the nade kill on the Angel. Mystery and Uncut both hunting ops, not the ideal weapons for a retake. Mystery down to 15 HP, and he's going to try and get away with his op, and he will be able to make it out alive. But the T's pick up a round despite the fact that they lost a player early in the round. So, I mean, it's just unfortunate that this is happening, because this could be such a close game, and it still isn't necessarily out of hand. You know, Noble Esports up 5-2. Obviously, the score indicates that they're winning, but the rounds that they've won have been pretty close. So it's not necessarily as one-sided as the score might indicate.
Yep, still waiting to connect back. Team Hyper really kind of, they had a kink thrown in their massive plan here to have a big comeback. They did take that round as well, and that was, I mean, that was a man down, so impressive stuff. I think about how much more effective they could have been had they have that fifth member. So, I mean, they're definitely kind of jonesing for a few W's here. But we're going to have to wait through this pause, and since we are on a pause, this stream is brought to you by our lovely community. That's you guys right now who have subscribed to us. We're not some massive org that has huge backing and, you know, all the cares in the world, or no cares in the world, I should say. We're just nerds in our basement. So any sub and every sub we appreciate greatly. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Again, sorry about the connection issues. It's out of our hands, but we will try and talk our way through this pause as we continue to roll through this great night of matches. That last game, buds, it was a tight one here on D season as well. A lot more pistoling though we saw, and believe it or not, in that game than this one.
Yeah, you know, like we apologize to you guys endlessly when things like this happen. The delays are unfortunate, and we do feel bad. You know, you guys are here to watch this game play out, and unfortunately, the constant pause is not allowing that to happen. But you know, your heart goes out to the players. They're here. They're playing for money right now. There's something on the line. It's not like this is just for fun. They could potentially win money for their team, and that could help them, you know, pick up some parts they might need, or help them go to local tournaments. So the fact that a player is getting constantly disconnected for whatever reason, that's what's unfortunate. It's because they could stand a chance, and instead the scale is being tipped to their opponent because of connection problems. Right now, though, it looks like Noble Esports is starting out strongly as it's already down to Deimos and Toops, and Somali doing some damage to Toops down to 80 HP. Deimos at 97. It's 5 players up for Noble, and they could be chasing down at Team Ace yet again. Angel and Mystery would need to pick up the frags. Nifty, Zooks, and Uncut each with 1 apiece. Nifty's going to get another one. That's Deimos down. Toops on Subway coming around towards Horseshoe. Zooks right around the corner. Flashbang peek. He's going to blind Toops and go for the spray down. Takes him off the board, and now it's 6-2. Noble Esports over Hyper. And I'm happy to say, not a pause this round. We are going to be continuing into round number 9. So the biggest thing that you can say about the constant pauses and the disconnect issues is not necessarily that they lose a player each round, but like we've talked about how the mental state of your team is so important. You just get so frustrated, and you start doing things that are so much against your way as a team because you get so annoyed. You kind of just throw the game away in a sense that, like, you get overly aggressive, you get frustrated, you take duels you shouldn't take because your mind is not in the right place. I'm hoping that doesn't happen with Hyper, but I can see why it would if it does.
Well, what's really frustrating is that Tooth, through all of this, is still second fragging. So you can't lay any sort of fault fully on, you know, just him. When you have players who are in round number 9, they're still 1-7. So Team Hyper really just not able to get anything rolling right now. They had a couple rounds there where they were feeling really strong, and, you know, those issues happen, but round number 9, it's a new day, boys. Let's see what you can do. You've got a full buy here. You've got an op. Mystery's already low. Uncut's at 5 HP, but Angel's still holding strong from B-Bots there. Gets a kill with the AK on the return. He gets a second. Angel, though, is going to do 2 kills before going down. A molly comes into sight from Nifty. He may be able to barbecue some terrorists here as he spams through the box and gets one. The bomb has been planted, and it's all down to Vass, who is dispatched very quickly by Nifty. Nifty having a strong retake. That was pretty much a one-man effort.
Based on what I saw in the first game that Noble played, you know, they really struggled. And I think I don't remember who they played, but it wasn't really a close game in their map on Cash. I remember they were getting blown out pretty badly. And, you know, it's not to say that they're a bad team. It's just I think they were matched up against a team that was of a higher caliber. Nifty had consistently shown flashes of, like, aim, like impressive aim, like the kind of stuff you see from top-tier players, like some sane 1Ds, some really good like 1v3 situations that he really pulled out. He played very good, even though Noble had lost. So yeah, you know, he's looking really good right now. This might be a little bit more of an even matchup for them based on what I'm seeing, and he is doing good. He's 8-3 right now. He does pick up a frag on Deimos. As I say that, Angel got one as well. That's Sav off the board, but he is traded out by Toops. So Toops, again, doing decent work despite his connection problems. He's sitting at 4-7, which actually ties him for top fragger. Deimos, Precision, and Toops all on 4 kills apiece. And you can see that's kind of the tail of the tape right now, is that Noble is taking the duels. It doesn't really seem to matter what Hyper does. Noble is getting the frags they need to get. This round, though, Toops picking up 2. That's going to open up the B bomb site, but Nifty on the flank is probably going to catch these players a little bit off guard. Shifty falling back from stairs, going to come around the corner at the same time as Nifty, and he does take him down. So Shifty and Nifty, the Rhyming brothers, going at it. Shifty picks up another one with the op. That's Zook off the board. So now Uncut with an op. And I don't know if he's going to try and stick this or not. He is pushed up in sight with that op, so he's not trying to go for the save, and he's not even going to fake it. Pros don't fake. Oh my gosh, he gets it. I don't even know how that happened. Shifty takes him down just after it goes off. A huge mistake from Hyper. That's the 8th round for Noble, so he loses the op. But, I mean, there's some serious cojones on him for sticking that the way he did.
Wow. I mean, you hate to see that happen. Team Hyper can't buy a win right now. But Shifty mostly played that op well. The bomb went down, he played from the B main T side entrance, and he just fell back and watched that low chance of conflict B flank. And he actually picked up a kill there, came up, had a second big kill, and he just kind of ran off and watched a spot where there wasn't a likely chance of a CT appearing. So just a bit of a misplay, but Hyper, man, dude, they can't buy one right now.
Yeah, and you know, they're really struggling, and like I said, they're losing duel after duel. I mean, the top fragger sitting at 5 kills in round 11. That's not exactly a strong performance. Uncut on the other side's 12-3. Nifty's 8-4. I mean, even the worst player is doing better than some of the guys on Hyper, and that's Zooks, who's 3-5. He's the only player that's negative on that team, so I definitely think right now it's coming down to a matter of duels, and maybe it is just execution's just not working out. Nifty getting 2, that's Precision and Deimos off the board. Uncut with the op connects onto Sav, and now Shifty over on Horseshoe. Nifty picking up the 3K, Mystery and Uncut cleaning off the last 2 remaining. 9-2, a very impressive performance from Noble right now, and we're going to see another pause coming in for Team Hyper, perhaps more connection issues for Toops. I don't know. I don't see the lag that we've seen before when he's been dropping, but that doesn't mean anything. He could be disconnecting right now. So another pause, unfortunately, guys. Again, out of our hands. We really can't do anything about it. And despite the connection issues,
that was a
like
5
you said
for 0 that last round, man.
What'd you say?
That was a 5 for 0 last round.
Yeah, they didn't lose a single player. And that's like something you had said, you know, Toops, he's been having connection problems and he's been dropping, but he's still doing better than most of his team. So really, it's just a matter of Team Hyper is just not playing well at all. They're not playing at the level you would expect them to play at. Noble is just really playing a very strong CT side. They're doing great.
Yeah, Shifty went like 5 rounds without a kill. Toops is still up there on the kill board, but Precision hasn't had a kill in 5 rounds as well. He hasn't had a kill since the 7th. So it's definitely not a balanced effort right now from Team Hyper.
Yeah, and you know, they're going for in the eco round right now. They're down 9-2. It'll be interesting to see what they see or do with. Blah, blah, blah. I can't even talk anymore. Angel gets the first frag as Precision goes down. It'll be interesting to see what Hyper does here. The last time they did this execute, they went with a couple deagles. Instead, they got Glocks across the board. One deagle on Deimos. He gets a frag on Nifty, and that's going to be an AWP down. Shifty did drop to that AWP, though. Angel pushed up from jail, connects on the first one. That's Sav down. Toops as well. Deimos, another kill on his deagle, connecting on Angel. Finally dropped by Uncut's AWP, so 10-2 Noble over Hyper. A pretty good eco round there from Team Hyper, but they really needed to get that bomb planted, get that bonus money. Instead, they're still going to have a lot of money because the loss bonus has been stacking up for multiple rounds at this point. And, you know, even if they win out, I mean, that's just a moderate half for a T-side. You would hope they would get 8-7 or 9-6, instead 10-5. And that's a big if on the 10-5. You know, the way that Noble's playing, this could very well close out 13-2.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you there. And a double op setup again from Hyper. I've seen them run this before in the last 10 rounds, or not 10, maybe 7 or 8. It doesn't matter. But it's really strange for a map like this, where a lot of it relies on rushing. And maybe they're trying to hammer down mid a little better with ops, I'm not sure, but they have precision at mid with the AK, so I'm not quite sure what they're doing here with the double ops. They probably know something I don't, but they haven't had a great success with it so far. We'll see if it bears any better fruits. They have gotten the opening kill here with Zooks watching for the rest of the round.
Yeah, this is kind of a map you don't even necessarily need an op on because of the way the map's designed. I mean, obviously, it helps to have it if he's a good shot, but you could get away with the 5 rifle setup because of the way the map's laid out. Right now, Uncut doing a lot of damage with his op. He's got 2 kills on the round, 1 for Nifty. It's a 3v2 here, Precision and Toops. Toops is going to get one. Nifty sitting around the smoke in sight. He hears that bomb go down. He's just going to wait to spot out Toops. Does spot him out, but Toops gets the kill. Somehow Nifty not able to drop him. And Angel on the flank from Cat gets both players, picking up the op as well. Not sure how that happened. That should have gone Hyper's way, but both of those players reacted to the man in sight, Nifty, so Angel was able to come in on the easy flank, get the defuse, 11-2. A decent round in that it came down to a 1v2 and they had the bomb down, but they don't care about close rounds at this point. It's not about money, it's about round count. They're down 11-2. They need every round they can get before they switch to the CT side, so, I mean, it's a little unfortunate that Hyper is struggling here. We would hope for a closer game, but Noble Esports looking very, very strong on the CT side of the season.
The double op setup again, that's expensive for D-Season, and Team Hyper, they're really going to have to put all their eggs in one basket here in the second half, because 11-4 isn't even a score you really want, so I guess that's the dream for them right now.
Yeah, the double op setup costs $9,500 for just the guns, not to factor in ammo and grenades. Deimos is going to get one rushing out the door. That's Nifty, who is playing a little bit aggressive on that door. Precision finds a shot through the smoke, I believe, on Zooks. And oh my god, a quick shot on Uncut as well. Uncut, who has been lights out with the op taken out by Precision. Toops and Sav combined for a kill on Mystery, and now it's down to Angel here, 1v4. A very quick round from Hyper, the kind of round you would expect to see on a map like Season. The map is, you know, we talked about it in the first game, kind of laid out in the sense that both teams kind of get to the sites around the same time, so you want to favor aggressive play for the T-side. Precision, though, doing so much damage with that op, the 3K for him, not even taking a single ounce of damage, so he looks like he's going to be the guy you want the op in the hand of, and they're going to hope to close this out 11-4, at least make it a little bit manageable. Way better than 12-3 and definitely better than 13-2. So they're hoping to close it out 11-4, maybe take the pistol in the second half, but we'll see what happens here as we come into round number 15, the last round of the half. Noble Esports 11-3 over Hyper.
They're really sticking with the double up, hey? They're not really gonna try anything else. They're feeling like they feel very confident in it. I mean, despite the score, sometimes you have something that works and you want to try and stick to it and perfect it. So perhaps that's just what they're doing right now. Just one up in the hands of Uncut for Noble Esports as Nifty. He likes to work this up, pushed up mid position. He catches Deimos in mid there too at the cost of much of his health. He's just down to 20 HP as Vas picks up another in mid. That's Mystery on the trade. It's a 4v4. Precision walks out with the Tech 9. Rec 9 picks up Nifty. Zooks returning back on Shifty. Vas now onto Uncut. It's a 3v2 in favor of Team Hyper as they look to take A, and Zooks is there in Horseshoe with the equalizer, picking up a rifle frag. The bomb is on the back of Vas right now. Precision get another there with the Tech 9. He's got an up in his hand, but why would you need it when you got the Tech 9 and 2 kills to show for it? As splitting mid are the T's. They're going to head towards B, knowing they have the site fully in their possession already before they get there. And Zooks is going to have to win this 2-man retake.
I mean, if you took the Negev and crushed it down into a pistol, I mean, that's the Tech 9. Erratic recoil, high rate of fire, impressive damage per bullet. That's basically the Tech 9. But yeah, 1v2 right now. Zooks on upper. He has an M4 and he does have a kit. He's going to jump down here right into the shot of Sav, so 11-4, the score that Hyper was really hoping for based on the way that game started. They got to be happy with that. Could have been much worse, as they could have gone down 13-2. So because of that score, I know it's just a few rounds. If Noble wins the pistol round, they're not gifted match point because of just 1 or 2 rounds in difference. If Hyper wins it, they're only down 4 rounds if they can clean up the first 3. So this is looking okay for Hyper, at least a little bit more manageable, but if they have more connection issues, this could easily go to Noble Esports. And honestly, based on what I saw for a majority of that first half, Noble Esports, despite the connection issues, was just outplaying Hyper. It wasn't just the connection issues. Noble Esports looked really good.
So just waiting for one more player to ready up. We'll get started with this second half. And this game, close like the last one. Close-ish. I'm trying to hype it up here, but it's really hard after showing from Hyper like that. I mean, just based on the extracurricular problems and, you know, not being able to chain together more than 2 rounds, which is something always very disheartening. So just, you know, you have a game like this, you understand what went wrong fundamentally, and you brush it off and you work on new things. So as a team, it's not like a game-breaking game. It's just something you kind of take away from, hey, this is what went wrong. This is what problems we face, whether it be behind the scenes or, you know, online. But let's just work on them and move on from here. With that being said, Noble Esports could have a total collapse here in the second half. We've seen stranger things happen on stranger maps like D-Nuke. So it's not totally out of the question, but there's definitely some value still to be gained for either team from this match.
Yeah, and I know you like seeing it, and I kind of do a little bit as well, the Deagle buys, but I mean, that hurts the economy of Hyper so badly. I question it every time they do it, and I questioned it in the upper bracket matches as well. They constantly picked up Deagles in their ecos, and it breaks the money, and it's kind of an erratic pistol. It's very unreliable in Go, because the gun just doesn't necessarily go where you would think it would go. You know, the first shot, dead on. It's pinpoint accurate for the most part. I mean, obviously, if you're moving, it's a little bit off. But, like, every shot after that, there's no telling where those bullets are going to go. So when you're in an eco round, if you're going to hit that first shot, awesome, buy the Deagle. But if you miss that shot, you're pretty much gifting them a free kill and losing $800. So big misplay in my opinion on Hyper, and I said the same thing in their upper bracket matches. They're obviously source players picking up the Deagle. I just don't think it's a wise decision. Anyway, right now we're just waiting for these players to ready up. We got 8 players readied up, so just kind of waiting as these players hop around the maps. I'm sure that Hyper is talking things over, as they definitely seem to struggle on their T side. Moving on to the CT side, it's not like it's a heavily favored CT map like Nuke or Overpass where you can kind of, okay, now's the comeback time. This is a pretty even map. We saw it in our last game, 8-7 in the first half. That's kind of the score you expect to see. Anything, you know, more than 10-5 is out of the ordinary for Season, unless you have a team that is very strong on this map. And who knows, maybe Noble is very strong on Season. But Hyper being, you know, some ex-invite player, some source, you would expect this to be kind of their map in a sense.
Well, second half underway here. Bach, Ricky Rath, producer J-Raw tonight. Ooh. And we're going to jump right into things here. Hyper, it's not a must-win, but you always want to win pistol. And that's a good pace to start your half at. You know, kind of dictate the rest of the way the game is going to be played. Hopefully, but we'll see what they have up their sleeve here on CTs, as it looks like it's going to be a 5-man rush to B.
Yeah, and they are set up here waiting with nades in sight. Sam does have one over by the pillars. Shifty sitting underneath balcony there. He does have a flashbang, but that's all he bought, which is somewhat interesting that that's all he picked up. And Sav unfortunately wastes the nade on upper, and there's not a single player there. He's going to get spotted out by Mystery, and Angel takes out Shifty as well, so already getting that bomb planted here with 1:11 left. Precision taking that duel against Nifty, not able to find the frag. Nifty still left standing here, 51 HP. He's going to toss a flash out, and he actually blinds himself. Now he's dropped to 29. He's getting pushed from both sides here. He needs to be careful. Finally comes up with the frag, though, on Precision. Makes it a 5v2 right now. Not a single player down. Nifty getting another one on Deimos, and now it's on Toops here. 1v5. And Toops back on in mid here, and I think he's having some connection problems yet again. 130 ping just sitting over here by the sheetrock, so unless he's looking to start a contractor business in mid, he must be having some connection problems.
Fuck, please.
He was looking at the spackle job, and he's like, this is not up to code. This is not how it's done. Let me show you guys how this is done. So I'm imagining we're going to see another pause here. It hasn't actually come out yet, but Toops having some connection problems, and maybe, who knows, they haven't actually paused, so I'm wondering if Hyper is just kind of going to roll with it, because...
You know, I'm kind of liking your contractor theory, actually. Counter-Strike's always needed a homes-on-homes. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely. He's going to go into the maps that are unfinished. He's going to polish off that rust that you see on maps like Cache. He's going to sweep up, repaint, you know. It's about time some of these maps got beautified.
Yeah, much like this one. Season. Oh, that... totally new Tokyo vibe to it. Love it, but I'm also loving Mystery right now, opening up this round against the Equaling Hyper with 2 Mac 10 kills. That's some real gangsta shit right there. As Noble Esports, pretty much, they're playing right now like they have this in the bag.
Yeah, and on the other side of the board, you have Hyper, who's playing like this is over. You know, they know that they have a player who's having connection issues, and rather than pause the game, they're just rolling with it. It's down 12-4. I think they have no qualms about it. They understand exactly what's happening. You know, Noble Esports looking very strong. They're about to go up 13-4. They're kind of, I don't say that they're giving them the game, but they're just beyond frustrated with the connection problems at this point that they're just not even bothering with the pause. So it's unfortunate that connection problems are making this game as one-sided as it is, because I feel like it would be much closer. You've seen multiple rounds come down to 4 players right off the bat. And, I mean, on T side, it's not as unbearable because of the fact that you can just barrel into sight with 4 people, but on the CT side, it really isn't fair because it's hard to hold a map with one less person. You know, you're used to the traditional 5-mans, 2A, 1 mid, 2B. What do you do if you have 1 less player? Do you play 1B and put 1 mid, or just abandon mid and put 2 at each site? I mean, it's really hard to say because you're not used to having to do that. So, and you can see here, they're saying, don't bother, he's gone. Every round he's been lagging, so unfortunately they're just going to continue with 4. Sometimes that's the nature of it. It looks like Hyper has pretty much just gotten beyond the point of frustration. They're just over this.
I guess we're gonna go and have a quick second half here as Zooks is just rushing through the vent, spraying away with the AK-47, picks up Boss. Boss able to only do 17 points of damage to the defender, as it's now 13-4. Noble looking to close out this game, playing against a battered and bruised Team Hyper here on the season. As this is the second map of our 2 matches tonight. Oh, I think for the rest of the night here, Baki. And then we're going to wait until, I guess, tomorrow for our next set of matches. But Noble Esports, the big showing here. And another big showing is our giveaway we have right now on... you can check that in chat, actually. Someone will type it as I say it. As the CT is looking to retake the 3 here on the pistol. You can enter that by subscribing, as all of our subscriptions are very, we're very thankful for. I love you guys. Zook gets another kill on Precision. Shifty finally getting an answer here for the CTs, but he is promptly dismantled after a Shifty. Now the last remaining T for Hyper, just stuck outside upper A, and he will be closed in upon by the rest of these terrorists, and that will be your round as Toops does reconnect. Could be too little too late. Noble Esports going into round number 19 with a W on the board, 14-4.
And it looks even like he's connecting. At first he started with high ping, but it is coming down, so I was concerned even after reconnecting he was going to have some problems. But, I mean, a 10-round disadvantage on the CT side of a map that is pretty much a T-sided map. I mean, it's not necessarily insanely T-sided. I'd say it's pretty close, depending on what level of teams you're dealing with, but... You know, unfortunately, the connection issues have really just ruined this game. It's put a sour taste in my mouth, and I'm sure it's the same for Team Hyper, which is why they were playing 4v5. You know, I hate to see this kind of thing happen. It just ruins what could have been a very close game, a very enjoyable one. And right now, we are going to see Shifty with a nice off shot onto Mystery. So they're starting off nicely here in round number 19, getting the one-man advantage over Noble Esports right now. Flash coming out towards Cat. Angel peeks out through door. No one there, though. There is a man pushed up close. If I'm not mistaken, I might be reading the X-ray wrong, and I am. Deimos on the other side of that wall over towards Underpass. And he's going to be pushing out towards Horseshoe as he hears these players wrapping into sight right now. 3 men pushed up Cat. Nifty, Uncut, and Angel all in sight. Deimos on Horseshoe right now is going to hear that bomb go down. Goes to the peak, takes down one, takes down another, so the bomb is down. And now it's Angel and Zooks, a 2v4. Deimos, the big 3 frag there. Picks off Angel as well. A nice hold from him on the A bomb site. Sav goes down. And another pause. I'm guessing that Toops might be having more connection issues, so...
He's got so much money. Just spill some weapons and reconnect. But he is at 78. He could buy an AWP. We'll see if Team Hyper wants to do that double op setup here on CT side as well.
This is brutal. I don't know what the pause is for. He does have an op in his hand, and he looks like he's fine. I mean, it's actually Deimos now. Deimos at 180 ping, so he's actually struggling with some connection issues himself. So just after picking up the big 3K, hits with a lag spike. But, I mean, this is a pretty hard comeback to mount. I know that Hyper has talent, and it is, you know, it is, statistically speaking, on any map, it's a little bit easier to play the CT side. I know that Season is a T-sided map, but because of the fact that you can just kind of hold angles and you don't necessarily have to worry about hardcore strategy as much. But at the same time, because it is a T-sided map in Season and you're down 9 rounds already, Noble Esports on the brink of picking up match point. It's just a matter of time before they get that 15th round. And then, again, all they need to do is win 1 more. So winning 2 rounds in the next 10, that's pretty easy to make happen when you're on the favored side of a map. So even though Hyper looked pretty good in that last round, I got to give the nod to Noble. They've been playing lights out all game, and it's just a matter of time before they end this.
They have 2 players in striking distance of the 20 bomb. That's Uncut and Nifty right now. And Team Hyper, double op setup. They're going balls to the walls right now. We'll see, one's in the hand of Shifty and one in the hands of Precision. We'll see how they play that. Hopefully, they will have, I'm assuming they'll have 1 mid, 1 A, or they'll have one playing B on a quick rotate. That's really the most effective way to play the op on this map.
And unfortunately, it looks like Hyper, Hyper is forfeiting. So that's happening. I guess I can't blame them. I mean, tough game to play. You're constantly bombarded with connection issues the whole game. And honestly, they're being outplayed by Noble. Even when they had 5 players, Noble outplayed them. So Hyper has no one to blame but themselves for the rounds that they lost when all 5 were in the server. They played 3 to 4 rounds at least in a row without connection issues, and they didn't necessarily look great on those rounds either. Noble just looked really good. And I think part of that is that Noble is a younger team, so they're more versed on these newer maps like Season. Hyper, obviously, they have experience on Source, so they would have experience on the old Season. Not a lot of teams have played the new Season, so maybe that's a factor here.
Well, it's unfortunate it went down this way, but we are going to, I believe, take a break here and then wrap things up. So I guess we will put it on toward the load screen. We'll be back with you guys in just a minute.
Now, before we go to a pause here, I want to remind you guys about all the giveaways we're doing. We have a Minimal Wear Karambit Blue Steel and an M4A1S Cyrex in minimal wear condition. Both of these are brought to you by opskins.com. All right, for the M4, you got to join our Steam group. That's steamcommunity.com/groups/GoRGNTV. And then you got to join OP Skins group as well. That's steamcommunity.com/groups/OPskins. So you join those, you'll be eligible for that minimal wear Cyrex. The Karambit, however, minimal wear Blue Steel Karambit, that's for our subs. That's going to be at the end of this tournament. I think that's at 200 subs. So you can see the countdown right now. We're at 18. So if you could hit that sub button, you'll be eligible for that beauty of a knife. We're also giving away an Asus Strix GTX 960. That's brought to you by Cyberware. A big shout out to them making that happen. All you got to do is follow us on Facebook and follow Cyberware as well. I'm sure you've seen the link posted in chat time and time again. So follow both of those and you are eligible. It's like a $200 graphics card completely for free. I read the reviews. It sits at like a 9.1, so that's a very healthy review. So if you're looking to get a new graphics card, even if you're not, it's free. All you got to do is click 2 links and you're done. It's the easiest giveaway you could ever enter. So guys, I do apologize for all the delays we had tonight, really out of our hands, but it looks like Team Hyper is going to forfeit, so Noble Esports will be moving on. Team Hyper dropping out of the tournament, unfortunately, in the lower brackets. Definitely not the kind of thing you'd like to see happen, but that is going to be it for our broadcast tonight. That is the last match.